Hi, this is Aaron,
And I'm Daryl.
and we're here to talk about
New
comics.
for the week of,
What is this date?
I think it's July
Ninth.
8th. 8th.
No, today's the 7th, isn't it?
No, today's the 6th.
Today's the 6th, yeah, you're right. I'm not good with this future thing, even though I do read a lot of DC.
But it's not the future. Because technically, we live in the present.
What if it was a different universe altogether?
Well, I think your name would be Daryl and mine would be Aaron, and we wouldn't wear our underwear on the outside. And
Exactly.
like Superman does now. Anyway, we're talking new comics for the week of July
Or does he?
8th, or does he? So we're going to talk new comics. First up, we're going to start with Marvel. The
Greatest company of all time.
all right, internet people,
I'm gonna get some crap
prepare the
about that
fury.
again.
All right, first up, 1872, number one, a Western comic starring Steve Rogers as the sheriff or marshal of a Western town where Kingpin rules. What do you think?
Steve Rogers is the man, right?
He is the man.
So why wouldn't you read it?
You should read it. If you like Westerns, definitely check it out. Imagine the Marvel Universe characters. Imagine a 1602 and an 1872. And since Red Wolf was in that all-new, all-different Marvel teaser, he's going to be a big character to come out of that. He's going to be in this book.
All new, all different Marvel.
It'll be all new and all
You
different.
gotta love that
At least
name.
for a while.
I think I'm gonna do like the Marvel guys, where every time I hear that name, I'm just gonna turn green and like break tables and stuff.
Oh,
I don't even
different.
know why I got
It's
mad.
not different.
I just-
They're still Spider-Man.
Yeah. What did they do to the Hulk? Smash!
How can it be all new? What's after all new? All new? I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Where do we go from here? You
Who
know?
knows, man?
So like the new 104 with DC, and then it'll be the all new, different, same but different Marvel. Now.
Or like the new 252 is Spawn number 252.
Yeah.
So anyway, who knows what's going to happen? All I know is it's just going to go back to being Marvel. To me, it's just a jumping on point. Read Marvel. And by the way, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll get off track.
Why can't we have just regular Marvel and DC, man?
DCU, like
Oh,
you,
yeah, you.
you.
But not like universe.
Yeah,
More like
DCU.
That's
Or-
so stupid.
Anyway, we'll talk about DCU and all new, all different Marvel in another video. But 1872, definitely check it out. Brand new number one. Blah, blah, blah. Also, Age of Apocalypse, number one.
Age of Apocalypse. I liked that story back in the day. I'm not too big on the art, but I love the writer, so I mean,
Yeah.
it's a toss-up.
I gotta admit on the art thing, it's a little.
It looks too 90s. It's like, whoa, I didn't really need to go back that far.
X-Men 92, I tolerate it because I feel like it's trying to really capture that. But yeah, none of that 90s art.
Man, but on the subject of X-Men 92, wordy.
I don't-
Man, there's a lot of words.
A
in
lot
that
of people
book.
criticize George Perez Superman run at the beginning of the new 252,
Oh, man,
but that
I
was actually good.
I'd like to baby shake those people now. Like, are you kidding me?
It's
Did
George
you see
Perez.
X-Men 92?
Yeah, man. X-Men 92, a little too wordy, but I think this is one of those you got to give the 2 to 3 issue try. I usually say 3 issues. Dr. Fata didn't, and rightfully so.
I'm not going to on 92 either. It's cool and all, and I like it. I'm not discouraging anybody from buying it. If you like the cartoon, you should read it. But
Yeah.
they even did the dialogue like it was the 90s. I was like, okay, maybe this isn't as cool as I thought it'd be.
Well, I like the X-Men playing,
So
what was it,
dated.
Laser Tag and Jubilee 1?
Yeah.
Back when Jubilee was real popular, or at least she was in the cartoon
I
popular.
mean, she was used a lot more. We'll say that.
Yeah, let's just say that.
I don't know if I want to go so far as to say popular.
She's related to Stan Lee, right? Her name's Jubilation Lee, right?
Yeah.
She can't be that. No, I'm joking. But anyway, yeah, I like that. It had that kind of fun element of the cartoon in it, but it was very wordy. But I'd say give issue 2 and 3 a try.
Cassandra Nova was in it, and that was cool.
Professor X's evil twin psycho sister.
And those of you who read the Morrison run know that there's more to that. It's pretty interesting.
And if you like the Morrison run, E for Extinction, E is for Extinction, was great.
I think I'm
Great
going to
book.
jump over there to try and get my X-Men fix. I'm
Yeah.
going to keep jumping to X-Men books until I'm like, this is what I want to read.
Yeah, if you like the Morrison run on X-Men, definitely get E is for Extinction. Really great. Magneto's like in charge of the school. Just the first 2 pages, you see what happens to Professor X. Check it out. It involves Cassandra Nova.
Of course.
So, but Age of Apocalypse number 1. Apocalypse is going to be a big deal movie next summer, if I'm not mistaken. as long as time continues to go the way it is. With it seems every studio has a superhero movie slated to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Get Age of Apocalypse #1. All right, we've been looking forward to this one. Amazing Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows #2.
Oh yeah.
What's going to happen after Spider-Man's battle with Venom? What does this mean for his "with great power comes great responsibility" motto?
He killed them.
He killed Venom, or at least it appears that way.
Yeah.
But they've got Regent, that all-powerful villain who's killed all the Avengers.
And he's supposed to get the black costume back.
The black costume is coming back.
Me personally, this is kind of like the Spider-Man I was reading back in the day, so I'm happy to have this version, even though he didn't have a kid when I was reading then. It's almost like the version I read, and like I'm just checking back in on him now.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that's kind of cool that it's kind of like, all right, let's say this story still kind of continued, although it is Doom Battle World. It's kind of like, hey, let's kind of check in and see what these guys look like now. It's kind of a cool thing to do, at least for a little while.
Yeah, like pretend was it Brand New Day that changed everything? Pretend that retcon didn't happen.
One More Day.
One More Day, that's what it was. Pretend that retcon
You don't
didn't
make a deal with
happen
Mephisto, Mary Jane, what's up? Peter couldn't do it, so then they put it all on Mary Jane, so we couldn't blame Peter, but he could have stopped her. Anyway, One More Day, you can read it. The first 3 issues are great, the last one, I'm going to do the Aaron. So
Renew
anyway.
Your Vows, though. Check that one out.
Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows. Get it. Civil War #1. This is as if the Civil War event continued on, and what would the United States look like? Tony Stark is president.
The only thing I can say is it took him long enough to put this one out.
Charles Soule writes it.
It's probably because Charles Soule writes it, and he writes about everything.
Writes everything.
Yeah, I mean, where does this guy get time to sleep? Right?
The guy's also a lawyer. Keep that in mind.
Which, made really good when he was writing the She-Hulk comic.
And he's getting ready to write Daredevil, and where Daredevil has an apprentice, and he's already debunked all the rumors. It's not Gambit. Apparently, everybody thinks it's Gambit. Like, why would Daredevil train Gambit?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Ron Garney's doing the art. I'm excited about this team. It's going to be awesome.
Charles Soule said he's using bottles of ink on this book. They said they're taking this book in more of a noir direction, which is that's what Daredevil fans want.
Yeah.
Which Mark Waid and Chris Samnee's work was great. Still is, because it's not over yet. But I think some people kind of want that noir vibe, especially with the TV show just hitting.
Yeah, I mean, I've read most of my Daredevil when Frank Miller was doing it, and I've read some other runs too and liked him there. That's the version where he's like handling street crime is the version of Daredevil that I'm most into. Like Batman, I like it when it's kept to the town. Because Hell's Kitchen itself is kind of like his Gotham. It's a character in that story. And that's another reason I didn't read so much of the Mark Waid run, because it's like taking one of the main characters away.
Well, originally he was in New York, and then he basically had to out himself as Daredevil, which in turn he got disbarred. So the only way for him to be a practicing lawyer is technically legally if you held a law license before in another state. Even though you're disbarred currently in this one, you could go back to that one. That's where that storyline came from.
Yeah, and
which was kind of a cool twist.
Didn't this come about in Brubaker's run?
Brubaker outed him as Daredevil. Kingpin knew who he was, obviously, for years, but he got outed as Daredevil. But then it was kind of like they did it in a way where everybody's like thinks he's Daredevil, and they're like, "Hey, Matt, can't you see my hands?" And they're like, he just like, "No, what are you talking about?" So it's like everybody thinks he's Daredevil, but it's almost this like kind of like I know you're Daredevil, but like wink, wink kind of thing.
I just ordered the complete collection, volume 1. Of the Brubaker run.
So it did kind of happen in Brubaker, then they kind of put the genie in the bottle, but kind of like winking at it at the same time, and then Mark Waid full blown, he had to come out as Daredevil, so
he could put it in San Francisco.
Well, he got disbarred because some villains were blackmailing him. It was a great, it's volume 1, great read, you ought to read it, but he gets blackmailed and he basically says, look, first rule against someone holding something against you is just get it all out there so they have nothing against you. And he's in the middle. He's sitting on the stand, and he just comes out and says it, and he takes it to the bad guy. It's a really cool scene.
Yeah,
great climax. Great climax to volume 1.
I'm kind of hoping that
put him back in New York.
Secret Wars will kind of retcon that a bit.
I think he's going to be back in New York. But anyway, that's what are we talking about?
I don't know. We got way off.
How did we get on Daredevil?
Because
Charles Soule.
Yeah, Charles Soule.
All right, Ghost Racers #2. If you like Ghost Rider, check it out. Tons of Ghost Riders in it. Danny Ketch is in there. Johnny Blaze, Robbie Reyes. How you say it? Jaime Reyes.
I'm like a Johnny Blaze guy. When it's Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider, I'm interested.
Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch are the only two I carry.
I read the Danny Ketch years too.
So, all right, Inferno #3. It comes out. Master of Kung Fu #3. About time.
If you're not reading that book, just Don't even talk.
Just leave this video and don't watch it until you read that book.
That is
Then
the
you come
book.
back.
I'm hoping Hayden. I can't say his name now. Hayden Black or whatever. He wrote Batwoman with J.H. Williams.
Oh, the writer?
Yeah.
I
Hayden.
can't think of his name. All I know is you should be reading.
Man, that book is awesome. That's all I'm gonna
That's
say.
one book I didn't even check who was reading it. I just read it.
And it's great.
It's good.
It's one of the best books of the whole Battle World series.
That's right. Master of Kung Fu #3. Get it. Mrs. Deadpool and the Howling Commandos. As we find out, the Howling Commandos get their own book coming out in the all-new, all-different Marvel. I hate saying that, but that's just
Dum
the
Dum is
only
gonna
way.
be in it.
Dum Dum Duggan's back. I'm so
Dum
excited.
Dum, man, come on.
Which you were like wondering what happened to him. You should have read Original Sin. Really cool,
should have.
really cool twist on Dum Dum. But I'm glad they're bringing Dum Dum back.
I'm going to go back and read that because Jason Aaron wrote it. You can't do it wrong.
It was all, of course, similar names in there too.
Yeah.
You guys got Runaways #2, Runaways #1 got a good review. Secret Wars 2099 #3, Spider Island #1, that Dan Slott storyline that came out not too long ago. We're returning to the universe of Spider Island. If you're a Spider-Man fan, check it out. Also, Spider-Verse #3. Squadron Sinister #2. This is a book that most people would have thought this one's not going to be any good. I read it and I was like blown. I was mind blown. Poof. Really good. Should read it. Have you read it yet, Aaron?
No, I haven't. I bet. I heard that it's kind of like a Watchmen-ish thing.
It's got a Watchmen-like vibe to it. You know, I can't. It's not Watchmen-like, but it's got that kind of dark element where they're in control. They're killing all various forms of their other selves of other universes, but they're all kind of trapped in this one. They're literally crossing borders trying to eliminate other timeline versions of themselves.
That's actually pretty cool. I like
And then,
that
but then
concept.
also within the team, there's all this paranoia and like. There's all this paranoia within the team of like who's really like it's like who's trying to take down Hyperion at like every moment. He acts like he trusts them, but really like Nighthawk is like Batman of the group. He's like, just read it. It's really good. If you like a kind of a darker take on heroes, there's some paranoia amongst the characters. Who can they really trust? Yet they put up this front, they all get along, whatever. You know,
Trust? Who do?
it's 1989 Batman. Prince, man. Anyway, definitely check out Squadron Sinister #2. And lastly, Charles Soule writes and Alex Maleev does the art of Star Wars Lando #1.
That's a pretty good team. I like Alex Maleev a lot. He has some really cool art.
Pretty awesome. You gonna buy it?
We'll see. You know, like there's so much
Trust.
good stuff. It's hard to buy it all. You know, I gotta rely on my friends to buy some of it and read it and let me read it.
Well,
You know.
I know one thing you're gonna buy. It's gonna be Batman 42.
Yeah. Is that what we're moving on to?
Oh, already, man. Let's
DC Comics, the greatest company of all time.
No, I should say that. DC Comics, the greatest company of all time. Anyway, go ahead. Batman 42.
Batman 42. Have you read any of this story?
Yes, man. Jim Gordon, Batman. Not only is he a big robot, but he's also got a suit
Gundam
within the
Gordon.
suit. Gundam Gordon. He's got a suit within the suit.
Suit within the suit.
I still
Alex-
hate his haircut, and he has no mustache. but
Yeah, and he really, guys, bring the mustache back.
He looks like a
It's creeping me
50-year-old
out.
Guy Gardner.
It's really creeping me out. I noticed in Detective, this newest issue of Detective, that he looked older, but without a mustache and military haircut.
Let me ask you this: why can't Batman have a mustache? Alfred did. Remember when Alfred would wear the Batman suit and that little gray mustache would kind of creep out?
Well, remember when Hugo Strange put on the costume and he had just, you know,
Oh,
the
gosh.
Hugo beard? It's like, no, nobody can tell that's not Batman. But anyway,
Hugo Strange. There's a villain they need to bring back.
no, they started to in Red Hood and the Outlaws, and it just didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool how they introduced him, though, because he was like, he was Jason or Roy One's psychiatrist.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was a pretty awesome
Wait,
idea.
Scott Lobdell wrote that?
I'm not sure if it was LaBelle or Tinian, because Tinian did it for a little while.
Okay. I was like, Scott Lobdell.
Lobdell has a good idea here and there. Like that Oracle character was pretty cool.
Okay, yeah.
I'll give him credit when he has good ones, but not all of them are good. I liked Hell too. Hell was pretty cool.
So, okay, Gordon can't have a mustache as Batman. It probably would look weird.
It would look weird, but you know the thing is like as critical as I was of the story, like Scott Snyder's dialogue saved it because. I mean, those of you who read 41 know that Gordon was making fun of the costume and the same things, and not only that, but they made fun of that stupid Twix ad that was in every issue.
They made fun of that. Yes,
Yeah.
they did. Yes.
So thumbs up to Snyder and Capullo on
Well,
that.
that's where they went back to the half-page ads, which I don't know why
I
they
hate
did that.
And it totally screws the paneling, and I think Capullo even made a remark about that. Like, It's hard enough to do all that with the storytelling and the paneling, and then you're going to go and put this half-page ad in there. What are you thinking, DC?
Is that a way of selling cheaper advertising?
I guess, but for the longest time they'd gone like everybody else and they just advertised their own stuff, and now they're back to advertising other people's stuff.
Yeah,
Just
I mean the full page ad. Yeah, anyway, that's a whole that's advertising economics and all that right there. But anyway, Batman 42. People should read it.
It was really good. Their dialogue really saved the whole thing. I mean, the fact that Gordon was even like, I don't really want to do this. Like, why?
Which is like all the readers are saying the same thing.
The suit has bunny ears. I mean, he even made fun of the fact it had bunny ears.
Still think it should have been Captain Carrot in that suit, man.
That would have been great if it was Captain Carrot.
It's something so bizarre it didn't belong in a Batman book, but you could do it for like as a joke. I don't know.
The controversy seems to be on the last page. Some people are thinking, like me, I think it was
Bruce
cool.
Wayne is back.
It helped for me. Other people are like, hey, you should have stayed gone longer.
They did the same thing with Superior Spider-Man. Peter Parker died, and then he came back in the first issue of Superior Spider-Man. You knew he was alive in some shape, form, or fashion. I think it's good that Bruce Wayne's there, but the thing is, if Bruce Wayne is alive, why isn't he Batman?
There's a bit of Spider-Man and Batman kind of like, one of them does one thing, the other one does it. I don't know. It's kind of, I'm not really a fan of it, really. I think both of them kind of need to go off in a different direction. But
yeah,
I'm still hanging
like
on.
Spider-Man Inc. coming out soon.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing like.
That's not the real title. That's what it looks like.
Be
Batman Inc.
My thing where people get on it. I'm not as big of a Dan Slott fan as everybody else is. I don't not like the guy, but I think a lot of his ideas he's borrowed from Morrison. The Spider-Verse thing, that was very Morrison. And this Batman Inc. thing looks very Morrison. So I don't know. I'm just like, go somewhere different that hasn't been done.
I'll definitely sort of agree with the Spider-Verse thing, kind of looking like multiversity or whatever. Or, yeah. But it's also like, I'm trying to think. Dan Slott, one thing he does well is he kind of captures that kind of, back when you used to read when Stan Lee and Conway wrote the book, there was always this kind of like revolving door of storylines.
I'll give him that.
And there would be resolution and then more underlying plot threads that would come along.
The Levitt's paradigm.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to call it. They kind of kept you, but did Paul Levitz invent it because Stan Lee came first, right?
They tended to credit Levitz for it. Actually, I think, I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
It's similar. We'll debate that another day.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But anyway, like Dan Slott, one thing he does well is he keeps that kind of revolt. He keeps you coming back, in my opinion. So all that aside, I see what you're saying about criticism with Morrison. But people should
read it. I like
it.
Slott, though. I'm not saying you shouldn't read it or that I don't like Slott. I'm just saying, as far as all-time favorite Spider-Man writers, no, it's still Jerry Conway. But I do like Slott.
Mine's a J.M.
DeMatteis.
Thank you.
I have to think about it every
J.M.
time.
DeMatteis is one of my favorite ones. Like, one of my favorite villains he ever created was Judas Traveler. That was in the 90s. J.M. DeMatteis, man, a lot of psychological stuff. Like, his Spider-Man Batman crossover was amazing. It was a one-shot. Great stuff.
His Phantom Stranger run and his Justice League Dark, that whole Blight thing was really, really good. Excellent work.
Before we get off task, we're running out of time.
All right, back to DC.
Batman Superman 22. True storyline. Still continues. Pretty stoked.
Loving it. Greg Pak, man. Like that. Did you read issue 42 of Action?
Yeah, he tackled police brutality. Yeah. Which I gotta admit,
it's just a really heart-wrenching. Yeah, but I mean, just I don't know. This is just one of those Superman comics that I haven't. We used to get that a lot out of Superman, and it's been a little while since you get one of those Superman comics
that are like good. Yeah,
yeah, it's like it really makes you think.
The art, I'm not the biggest fan of, but the art is good.
I think Pak and Cooter almost have like this Morrison Quitely thing going on. Like, I wouldn't say Cooter's Frank Quitely good, but he's got a little bit of that.
It's got like a
very good with expressions.
I feel like there's a manga element there that maybe I can't. Maybe it's the coloring. I don't know. But either way, the art's not my favorite, but it doesn't matter. It's still good.
Excellent. Let's move on.
Read it. Justice League of America #2. Brian Hitch. I call this the cinematic widescreen Justice League of America. Read it.
Very good. I would agree with that. The last story is pretty interesting. Superman goes in the lab. Lots of Supermen show up dead. These people brought him there, not really explaining where they came from, but they're just saying, hey, there's these dead Supermans coming from the future. What's up? And Superman's reaction's kind of like, I don't know if I should kick your butts or not, because, I'm showing up dead here. I want a better explanation than this.
Yeah, and the great thing about this book, it's not bound by continuity. You want to jump in on a Justice League title, have your favorite guys on the team, this one's not.
Excellent to start.
Although Justice League by Jeff Johns is a fantastic book you should be reading anyway, but if you're kind of like, I just want to jump in, Give me something with the Justice League, and that'll satisfy my superhero comic book craving this week. Get this book.
They're gonna fight Rao.
Yeah, whoever Rao is. What's he look like?
He's the god of Krypton.
Yeah, I know who he is. Just what does he look like?
I mean, there's been different versions. I guess we'll have to see what this one looks like.
Yeah, sounds like a cat meow. I'm like, hey, that's the name of a good Kryptonian god.
The War of Superman story leading up to
yes,
that.
they talked about Rao, yeah.
Robot Rao, sort of,
Speaking of, we're talking about James Robinson earlier. That was some good stuff.
That was
Robinson
excellent.
and
James Robinson, Greg Rucka,
Jeff
Johns, Sterling Gates.
That was a good run on the Superman titles.
Excellent story. I love that story.
So read Justice League of America number 2. Justice League United number 11.
I haven't read any.
All I know is the Justice League United is now like that massive Justice League team that takes on stuff of all universes. Or
Justice League Canada, except it's not. It's like
now,
like DC's Alpha Flight. But
now it's got that kind of that new DC show, Legends of Tomorrow, has like a like Swamp Thing's on the team, Vandal Savage. It's like a rotating cast of team members on this team. Stargirl and a few others are going to be the main part of the cast, but Jeff Lemire's no longer writing it. But if you kind of look for that kind of like, give me that rotating door of cool Justice League. I don't know why Vandal Savage is on the team.
That is weird.
But rotating door of characters, read the book.
I guess every now and then he has things that he'd do good as long as it serves his purpose.
He is immortal.
He is immortal. Caveman.
Yeah, Mad Max Fury Road Max number 1 comes out. Mad Max, if you saw the movie, I haven't heard it was good. Check out the comic. Here's a big deal.
Big deal.
New Suicide Squad number 10. Starfire number 2.
I liked New Suicide Squad. It was pretty good. I might have to get number 10.
Starfire number 2, if you like the team that does Harley Quinn, read the book. I have number 1, but I have not read it. So, who knows? I like Starfire. She's cool. But if you like the Teen Titans version, they kind of harken back to that version of Starfire. Independence. We have Archie, number 1. And Archie's
greatest comic company of all time.
Archie Comics. Yeah. Anyway, Archie number 1, written by Mark Waid. Brand new in the modern day. Archie Comics. All the characters are now in modern day.
By Mark Waid.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I know. That's one title I can't say mission to read, Mark Waid, but, you know, hey, people like Archie, if you want to see him in the modern day, read it. Bloodstrike, number 1. The only reason why I bring this one up, this is Image.
Greatest company of all time.
Image Comics. Rob Liefeld is back, and he's bringing back Bloodstrike and Brigade. If you grew up in the 90s reading Image Comics, the artist universe back then, you would recognize these titles. Extreme Studios, where blood was in every name.
Plenty of pouches.
Gene Pool, Blood Pool, whatever they were called. They had all, like, Blood Men, New Blood. You know, there were all kinds of blood.
Yeah, there's a lot of blood.
A lot of
pouches.
Blood. And pouches. And guns.
Everybody had pouches.
Oh, my!
Everywhere.
Read Bloodstrike number 1. If you like Deadpool, because that is the guy who created Deadpool, this is kind of got that kind of take, so check it out. Descender number 5.
By Image Comics.
The greatest comic company in the world.
So talk about Descender. What do you got to say about it?
I think it's good. It's good. Read. I would just say read it.
I can't wait till the trade comes out.
It's kind of like anime meets. I don't know, man. I can't really put my.
It does have a little bit of anime.
It's got like an anime touch mixed with like I think like Robotech or Voltron meets. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, exactly.
It's got that kind of vibe.
Man, it's just like.
And anyway, it's gonna have a movie.
One of Lemire's best, I think, since Sweet Tooth.
Yes, read the book. Jeff Lemire writes it. Injection number 3. Warren Ellis.
Love it. If you've ever read Red, which is weird, Red.
I like Red.
Man, it's got that kind of feel. Like just the first 2 issues, you're just like, all right, there's a whole lot of crap going down in here. Whatever's behind that door in that lab, people want really bad, and they're not telling us what it is. I mean, he's saving that for some reason.
Oh man, Aaron, you just hooked me for number 1. I was gonna wait for the trade. I'm not sure I can wait.
They're willing to kill for it. Just other companies and so forth, and they're trying to get this other scientist, but his family apparently worked on this before, and he's like really sketchy. But there's a lot of build up about what's behind this.
Yeah, because didn't it where they're looking back and they did something in the 21st century they shouldn't have done, and it's kind of like, is it kind of like they're trying to undo it?
Yeah, there's a hint of that. It's like there's just enough mystery where like I get the basic idea of what's going on, I get the drama that you're building here, but there's just enough mystery where it's like, man, I really want to know what's behind that.
Keeps you coming back.
Excellent.
Invader Zim, number 1. People like Invader Zim. Get number 1. I heard people talking about that here in the store. I'm not into Invader Zim, but hey, it's a number 1. Why not, right?
Exactly.
Rebels number 4 from Dark Horse. You like history, like the Revolutionary War.
Of all time.
Say that again.
Dark Horse, the greatest company of all time.
Send your royalty checks, comic companies. We want them. Rebels number 4, if you like the Revolutionary War or history meets comics, check it out. It's written by Brian Wood. You might know him from Star Wars. Reason enough to read it. Saga number 30. We heard Caitlin say, Caitlin's not here, but I heard she said
Saga.
Saga number 30. Read it. Cool book this week. You might want to try out. My pick of the week: Star Trek Green Lantern number 1, The Spectrum War.
Isn't that IDW?
Wait, IDW.
The greatest company of all time.
There we go. Star Trek Green Lantern number 1. Star Trek and Green Lantern. I don't know if they've ever crossed over before, but this looks really cool.
It's pretty interesting for Star Trek and Green Lantern.
And it's J.J. Abrams' Star Trek crossing over with Green Lantern.
So, I mean, what exactly does Starfleet do when they run across space cops?
I don't know.
Space military versus space cops.
All I know is it means I'm going to buy number 1.
That's the two greatest companies.
The two greatest companies in the world. Starve number 2. Check out Starve number 2 from Image Comics.
Comics, the greatest company of all time.
And then there's Strange Fruit number 1 by creators Mark Waid and J.G. Jones from Boom Studios.
The greatest company of all time.
It is set in the Mississippi flood of 1927. Interesting. If you're looking for a different type of story, you might want to check out Strange Fruit number 1.
That Boom one's for Caitlin because she's always talking about Boom.
She is. She likes Boom.
And what a George Perez comic, so.
Yeah, they do. I wish he would do some straight up superhero stuff. I know Sirens kind of is, but like, I don't know.
I like that Superman run. I don't care what the haters say.
I did too. I thought it was good. Anyway, last book, Walking Dead number 144.
Walking Dead. I'm gonna take it. There's gonna be some zombies, and there's gonna be people getting killed by zombies, and I'm gonna probably turn into a zombie any minute.
Wow, man, I'm healed. I'm healed.
It was the grace of Image Comics, the greatest company of all time.
That's anyway.
Walking Dead. Everybody knows about The Walking Dead. You don't need me to talk about The Walking Dead, do you? No. If you're not reading it, then you're not a Walking Dead fan.
That's right. Anything comic related you want to mention, Aaron, as we close?
What did you read that was just like, wow?
What did I read this week that was wow? Man.
I have 2.
Secret Wars number 4.
That was one of the 2.
Holy cow.
Holy cow.
I don't even know.
We can give
where's
some
Harry
spoilers.
Carey at?
All right, turn it off if you haven't read it. Because I just got to say this. What's up with Scott Summers haters?
I don't know,
man.
At
this point, just leave him dead. You've done enough. Just we're done. No more Cyclops. That's it.
The thing is, though, he's missing in the all-new, all-different Marvel Universe.
Probably because he got his freaking neck snapped.
Yeah, no, but what's to stop the Phoenix from inhabiting someone else?
Well, I mean, I don't think Doom was thinking that out because he was getting all like, oh, I'm back to acting like my normal self now. As soon as Reed Richards shows up, it's just like, bam, switch goes off, and it's like right back to the same old guy.
Okay, since we're talking Secret Wars, and we got a couple minutes, this is probably our longest one in quite some time.
Sorry.
Or really just a couple minutes.
You probably aren't watching.
Secret Wars number 4. Who's going to take down Doom and reset the universe and correct it all?
Well,
Will it be the Phoenix? Will it be the real Rabu Malal, or is that really just some religion that Doom created to get all this power? Right? Is there really a Rabu Malal? Will it be Galactus? Who is going to take him down to set it all
Galactus
right?
Could probably stomp a mud hole in him.
And walk it dry.
Exactly.
So who's going to stop Doom?
Well,
that's my question.
I don't think it's going to be Doctor Strange.
No, it's not going to be Doctor Strange.
No. Bummer.
But speaking of which, that's going to be a cool book coming out.
Yeah, he's going to be okay.
Again,
Jason Aaron's going to write him.
How's he come back? Is Stan Lee going to come in the comic panel and grab Doom and like pop his... Like, he's going to do this to his head. He's going to do this.
You know what?
He's going to squeeze it. Done.
Crushing your head? I would love it. I would love it if Stan Lee would show up and be like... just like knock him off.
Excelsior!
Exactly.
All new, all different Marvel.
I do have to say this though. I mean, obviously, Strange died.
Yeah.
But he's going to be back
with a battle axe and a bow and arrow.
But it's not a reboot or retcon.
It's not.
I get it. You don't want the fans to freak out like DC fans did. Learn from their mistakes.
That's right. But
I'm just telling you, I know better. This is a total reboot, and it's cool. It's cool.
The thing is, Doom has all this power to create Battle World. There's going to have to be someone to undo it and set it all right. Because there's people that remember the old Marvel Universe. So someone, either the real Beyonder, because like Doom took down 3 Beyonders to get all this power. Anyway, somebody's got to set it right. Who is it? We don't know, but I'm real intrigued to see what happens. All I can say is, crush your head. Crush. Anyway, go ahead. I'm done.
That's all I got to say.
Well, all I know is we got him.
We got him.
BobbyBig.com. Read some comics. Tell us what books you want to read this week. If you read something cool, drop us a line. I'll throw you well, actually, I will pick one person locally that'll get something free.
I say Secret Wars 4. And
I still
Action
owe somebody a comic
42.
poster on YouTube. Yeah, I got it. I'll send it in the mail this week.
Send it in the mail.
So-
Right in the mail to you.
Yes, to you.
To you.
All right, I'm Daryl,
I'm here.
and we go.